Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a very quick video letting you know that the points of interest inside of the Cayo Perico Heist are completely and utterly useless. In particular, the bolt cutters, grappling equipment and guard clothing, as well as the supply truck, is something that you will generally not going to need if you want to start doing these heists effectively. Now, in order to really start understanding the finales and everything like that in terms of prep missions, etc, I'm gonna need some more time for this, but thanks to my community, we were able to figure out that bolt cutters, for example, is something that you don't need at all. The reason for that is because during a prep mission, you get something that is similar to it, if not better. Grappling equipment is only really required for certain approaches, but from what we can tell so far, grappling equipment is really one of those niche things that you do if you want to take a different kind of approach. And guard clothing really takes the cake because it apparently is either bugged out or it's something that is not even required at all, because Pavel himself apparently says that you don't need this clothing because they already know that you're trying to rob them, even though you're still in stealth mode. So whether this is a bug or not, it seems to be a complete waste of time. In terms of the supply truck, that might be another case just like with the grappling equipment, where you can do a certain different approach. But in terms of tackling this heist effectively and stealthy, points of interest are just a waste of time. Even more so because of the way that they work. I've spent the last 2 days trying to figure out where all these things are, and the conclusion is pretty dire. The main issue with these points of interest is very simple. Every single one of these all have a random location except for the power station and the control tower. The bolt cutters, grappling equipment, guard clothing and supply truck all have a random location with a variety of different amounts. I posted a tweet yesterday on my Discord and on my Twitter asking for people's maps to try and figure out how exactly these spawns work. And to my conclusion, they all seem to have set spots, but the problem really becomes when a bolt cutter can also be in a location where someone else will have guard clothing, etc. It's completely random, so you will never have any sort of consistency with trying to find the equipment that you need. You will simply have to go all over the island in order to find your grappling hook or your guard clothing, for example. Now, if you're someone who is playing this as a solo operation, then obviously you only have to get one. But obviously, if you have to play with 4 players, you're going to have to get 4 different grappling hooks. Just to give an example. So the main reason why I'm making this video is to kind of warn everyone to stop wasting their time on these points of interest and just simply go and do the prep missions and just try to have fun with the heist itself. If you're someone who happens to have a team of people, then you can decide to make your life a lot easier by having everyone go to one certain place in the map and start looking for these things. But like I said, there's many different locations, and I can give you a quick look at the map I've tried to scramble together by using paint. Yes, it does look ridiculous, but it should give you a pretty good idea just how many different locations all these different items are. And for that particular reason, it becomes very abundantly clear that, especially since you're not going to use any of these equipment in the finale at all, that is really not worth your time to try to go for all these points of interest. Am I planning on still doing a video on this? Yes, I will most likely try to still figure out how this stuff works, so those out there who want to explore the heist a little bit more of a more meaningful and in-depth way, they will still be able to do this. But in terms of guides and making videos, I will now fully focus on the heist itself for the prep missions and especially the finale. Because the Cayo Perico Heist is seemingly a pretty in-depth heist with a lot of different ways and approaches that you can do this thing, and obviously I'm gonna try to get on the bottom of this to try to get the most effective way to you fine folks out there. So if you're watching this video for the first time and you're not familiar with the channel yet, then make sure to give it a subscribe for all these things coming to you very soon. Leave a like if you enjoyed or found this useful, and I'll see you all later.